One of man's greatest feats ever to have happened was the Apollo 11 mission. Three young men went on a mission that would be spoke of for centuries: Buzz Aldrin, Michael Collins, and Neil Armstrong. These men went through countless hours of training and prep for this mission. The space race was going to come to an end with these men on the moon. The training included a test to see if they could withstand the G-forces of the launch. These were very difficult tests, and they could make a grown man sick.
We had to go through so much training. It was a lot of fun though. A lot of good times with Neil before he got crazy.
Oh, I didn't like training at all.
After their training, the astronauts were at their top physical performance and were ready for one of the greatest missions of all time.
I'd have to say my favorite part was the takeoff. It was pretty wild, pretty rough. Buzz got sick.
Apollo 11 was launched successfully on July 16, 1969. After leaving the Earth's atmosphere, they orbited the Earth for 2 hours and 33 minutes. They then reignited their engines and broke the Earth's gravitational pull, heading toward the moon. After their long journey to the moon, they began to orbit it. From around 66 nautical miles from the surface, the astronauts were able to get photos that enabled us to study the moon's geology. Exactly 102 hours and 45 minutes after the launch, the lunar module was deployed, the astronauts landed on the moon, and Neil Armstrong stated, "The Eagle has landed." After landing on the lunar surface, they immediately prepped for takeoff, just in case something was to go wrong right away.
I like the zero-G stuff, but Neil kept throwing stuff at me.
The astronauts had a scheduled rest period that they requested be postponed. During this time, they prepared to walk on the moon.
Yeah, I was the first one to go on the moon. It was a pretty good feeling. Me and Buzz, we had a pretty long fight. It ended with rock, paper, scissors, and I won, of course, and I got to take the first step.
Neil Armstrong was the first to step on the moon. As he set his left foot on the lunar surface, he stated, "This is one small step for man and one giant leap for mankind." As he left the craft, the camera was deployed, allowing everyone to witness man's first step in space.
Neil and I were supposed to do rock, paper, scissors to see who could take the first steps on the moon, you know? But when I got ready, when I was warming up, he ran off without me. He ran out of the spaceship before we even did rock, paper, scissors. He's a freaking loser, man.
Although Michael Collins did not walk on the moon, he served an important role as the command module pilot. He orbited the moon as Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin walked on it and analyzed it. He was in charge of keeping tabs on everything.
Yeah, it was pretty neat walking on the moon. Felt like it was like a trampoline. But it's cool.
This mission was not a long mission. They only had a short amount of time on the moon to do what they needed to get done. After setting up the landing area, Armstrong and Aldrin began collecting samples and studying the surface for scientists to analyze back on Earth. One thing the astronauts remembered was that the surface was like ash and dust. They had 2 short hours to be on the surface, then went to rest.